Welcome back to another video, guys. As always, it's your boy Wraith Hoops, and I'm going to start tunneling more into the realm of the Utah Jazz, seeing as more than a third of the subscribers that I have to the channel do belong to that fan base. It's only right of me and fair of me to go ahead and shine some more light on their beloved team. I did intend for this channel to focus more so on the smaller teams and small market areas anyways, but it just ended up working out to where the Jazz were at the top of the priority list, as well as we'll get some more of the Suns, maybe some of the Bucks. I do plan on covering main stories, but seeing as the numbers don't necessarily back those sorts of things and I'm just not quite big enough for my opinion to matter to most, I'm going to be being a resident in the city of Utah for a content point of view for a considerable future. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys welcoming me in with open arms in the comment section as you always do, and I hope you appreciate the content going forward. As always, I aim to impress. Thanks for tuning into the video. As always, it's your boy Wraith Hoops. Make sure to like the videos so that the algorithm knows to push the content out to more viewers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on the price going up on the assets, particularly from a guard standpoint that the Utah Jazz have because of the Damian Lillard trade. Now, originally, we thought that Dame was going to end up going to the Heat simply off the strength of the fact that Dame said he wanted to go to the Heat, which hurt the trade talks because overall there were less pieces that were going to get involved because it seemed like if you traded Dame anywhere else, he wasn't going to play for you. With that being said, something that really caught my attention was the fact that despite not being able to perhaps match what ended up happening back when Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert got traded, credit to the Trailblazers front office because they did manage to get a decent haul for Dame in the long run. Admittedly, they also had to get rid of Yusuf Nurkic at the same time, but they did manage to upgrade in my eyes and honestly in one offseason put more talent around Scoot Henderson than they probably did at any point in Damian Lillard's career. That being said, they're still trading assets, so we can expect the riches to continue to multiply for them. When it comes to the Jazz's assets, though, we obviously know that we do have a couple expiring deals. We know that THT and Colin Sexton are two players that seem to be on the trading block, Kelly Olynyk as well, but Jordan Clarkson seems to be somebody that's free from the efforts. Now, obviously, if the right player became available, preferably a veteran that has been an all-star before, puts up a good number of points and is efficient and a solid leader on and off the court, then Jordan Clarkson would likely be in trade talks involved as well. We do know that Keontae George is not going to be in trade talks simply because they just drafted him and they feel very highly of him. His summer league showing did give everybody that's a fan of the Utah Jazz something to really smile about because he was incredibly efficient in the games that he played in, and he looked the part of an NBA caliber, NBA ready type player. Admittedly, it was summer league competition, so it wasn't your regular NBA type players or even G League regulars, but you can trust and expect that he will have a solid showing and play some good minutes this upcoming season. With that being said, Chris Dunn is another interesting piece that I've spoken about on the channel at length. He is a solid defender, solid passer, solid shooter. He does everything pretty well, and he's the most prototypical point guard they have on the roster. THT is more of a do-it-all kind of guy. Colin Sexton is obviously a scorer. Jordan Clarkson is a scorer as well. But Jordan Clarkson, they know who he is. He's been there for a while, which is why they re-signed him. When you know what a guy is, you trust what that guy is, you expect the duck to quack. And if the duck quacks like you expect it to, you know it's a duck. We have some other players on this team that may not necessarily have proven themselves to be the ducks in this analogy. They have done enough to make you think so, but you're kind of still wincing or looking in the distance trying to make sure that it is exactly what it says it is. I believe that it makes the most sense for them to hold on to their players until a reliable person becomes available. I do think that the guards are going to be more valuable than any forwards that we are willing to give up because Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen were both explained to be free of possible trade packages. They were no touches, hands off, no. But coming into this season, I'm expecting that Colin Sexton and THT are most likely to be the tradable pieces, simply because they are on the expiring contract end of things, and they do have a solid amount of value. If you're a team like the Miami Heat, who missed out on Damian Lillard and then also ended up missing out on Drew Holiday, you're looking for a point guard that can really start for you and fill in for the fact that not only did you miss out on getting a better point guard, you also lost Gabe Vincent, who played a valuable role in your playoff runs that you made last year. I don't expect the value of these players to just dramatically increase through the roof and there be first round picks galore, but I do expect there to be a substantial amount of trade capital for either one of those two particular players that I mentioned before, or if it's a deal that does require a team to request Jordan Clarkson, it's going to pay dividends for them to hold on to that asset and then decide to make that move when they're going to have the pick of the litter at their disposal. Especially now that we have Danny Ainge in at CEO, it's really changing the culture as far as we go when it comes to trading. There's not going to be some easy deal where you fleece the Jazz. The Jazz have young picks. I believe it's 9 or 10 draft picks within the upcoming 5 or 6 seasons in the first round alone. And those are including pick swaps, but count them anyways. It's just a situation where if you're the Utah Jazz, you can afford to do what you want. You can afford to wait on what you want to wait on, because even if they make no trades, as long as this team remains egoless and just enjoys the team chemistry and playing alongside each other, and everybody stays in their role, plays their role effectively, and nobody really gets hurt, you could see this team being a 5th or 6th team. They could avoid the play-in tournament entirely, just depending on how the rest of the top Western Conference teams play out. Maybe they do get forced to the 6th seed, maybe 7th, but if what we saw last season is any indicator of what they can possibly do this season with everybody healthy, I would like to think that they're capable of really pushing teams to the brink and maybe even making it to the second round of this playoff series. Now, I believe that there's a little bit more that we need to see before I stand on that very confidently, but I do definitely expect them to be in the playoff picture and to fight their way into a solid seeding spot, in particular as long as everybody stays healthy and Lauri Markkanen does manage to keep his scoring output the way it was and as efficient as it was. But in the coming weeks, as training camps get underway, we'll find out just exactly how valuable our players are, and if there's any deals that Danny Ainge and the remainder of the front office feel like they make sense to move. This one. But with that being said, go ahead and like the video so that the algorithm knows to push it out to more viewers. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Without any further ado, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.